welcome to Bison Overtime. I'm Alex Dusky.
And I'm Malik Mitchell.
We have a big show for you guys today, lots of NDSU sports to start. We're going to first start off with a weekend recap.
Yeah, so last week for track and field, they had a meet up in Iowa in the SDSU. Alex Talley won the shot put. He's been winning all the shot puts so far, to be honest. And then Maxwell Otterdahl ranks 11th in the NCAA this season, and he moved up to number 4 in all-time NDSU. It just seems like every player is just moving up in an all-time list.
Yes, a couple from the girls' meet. Keely Moten, we mentioned her last week as well. She now extended her school record that she already broke, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago, by 1.5 feet. In the shot put. So that's like a pretty big distance. She threw for 18.06 meters. Pretty impressive. She is now the 3rd best shot putter in the nation, and she was named the Summit League Field Athlete of the Week for the 4th time this season.
It just seems like this is a golden season, I guess. I guess this is where they have all their greats, you know? But Alex had a career best mile. He moved up to 3rd in NDSU all time. This is just the golden year for track, you know?
Right, and then senior Peyton Froelich, she ran her personal best in the 800 meter, finished under 2 minutes and 10 seconds for the first time in her career. And then, so that was all at the Iowa State meet, and then at the SDSU indoor meet, freshman Gray Emineth, an up-and-coming name, first year, got runner-up in the long jump and 3rd in the triple jump. So obviously, I think, we see some junior and seniors with Akili and Peyton. This is all for the women's team. And then now seeing freshmen with Gray, and then sophomore Bailey Dirks had season best in the 60-meter hurdles. So obviously, you're seeing the experience in the upperclassmen obviously rubbing off on these underclassmen as well.
Why do you think, they just keep breaking records?
I don't know, they're just, I think a lot of the sports across the board have been really hungry for a season, especially with the pandemic. And I think that although with some sports it did hurt to have that longer off season, I think obviously in track and field it definitely helped them.
I think it's a competitive thing. Each meet, it seems like someone's breaking the record, so someone's going to be like, okay, I want to break my record, and I want to be on the all-time list. That's why I think they just keep on rolling the ball. But senior Alex finished 3rd in a 60-meter dash, so that's good. And then Noah Schaefer, hope I say the name right, placed 2nd in pole vault, which is good. They're all around. They're not just one event.
Right, it's all of the events.
Yeah.
Another Bison team that had a great weekend was the volleyball team. It was a battle. That's how I'm going to explain these 2 games. Both games went into 5 sets. There's a game on Sunday and a game on Monday. Sunday's game, the 4th set went to 33 points because it was just like Bison would score, ORU, Bison, ORU. It was crazy. I was there, and it was just like, I will give it to ORU. They gave the Bison a run for their money for sure. But in both games in the 5th set, the Bison took like a 7-0 lead. And that kind of just sealed the fate for that weekend.
Were they gassed? How was the atmosphere?
That's what I was saying. I was like, how are they not tired? I think the Bison started to get tired in the 3rd and 4th set, in my non-expertise opinion. But ORU, they did have a lot of fans, and their coaching staff was incredibly motivating. And so I think that's kind of what helped them. But freshman Allie Hines, who we've been saying these last 4 weeks, had 24 kills, which is tying the most by a Bison since 2015. And that was just in the first game.
Talk about breaking records with the other sports, too. Yeah, she's definitely carrying her way as a freshman. I'm really proud of her.
She was named the Summit League Volleyball Offensive Player of the Week as well. So, and then another freshman, the libero, Taylor Kwan, on defense, had the season high of 18 digs. And that's what I was seeing a lot of was, they play in the Benson Bunker Fieldhouse, which has the stage and then the score table, I think. And these girls were running into the stage, running into the chairs, just running into the bleachers, just trying to get that.
They're really hungry for that win.
They were.
Trying to keep the ball rolling because they don't want to get swept again like 2 weeks ago. So, yeah. But, yeah, back to Allie Hines. She's really holding on as a freshman. She's leading the team in kills.
Yes, she had 19 kills on the Monday's game, 19 kills, 9 digs, and 4 aces, which were also really impressive, all for a freshman.
All for freshmen. So they're now 6-2 overall and 4-2 in the conference. They play on the 21st and the 22nd against South Dakota.
Yes.
Any predictions?
I think they'll take it. I think they're going on the road, which is going to be a different atmosphere for sure. The field house is normally packed with Bison fans, but I think the team is hungry, like you said, after they've won, I think, 3 or 4 straight games now. So that momentum's building, the team's wanting this, and the freshmen are excelling, as we can tell. I think that's what's really important for the success of the program.
Yeah, I think they're going to keep the ball rolling. Confidence, once you have confidence, it feels like nothing can stop you. So if you have confidence, you're going to play at your best. So I think they're going to kill South Dakota.
The last sport that we want to recap in this segment is soccer. They started their season Friday and Saturday, and they split the weekend against Kansas City. Game 1, they lost 3-2, and Game 2 was a shutout, 2-0 on the Bison's favor.
Yep, so it's unfortunate they lost the first game. You never want to lose the first game of the season, but I'm glad that they brought it back because usually when you start off to lose,
and
it could go downhill.
an impressive win at that.
Yeah. It could go downhill. But Brooklyn Dew, hopefully I'm saying your name right, and Olivia Lovick scored 1 goal each. That was in the first game when they lost. Ellie Schneider had 2 assists. And in the second game, Brooklyn Dew and Olivia Lovick scored again.
Something that I thought was interesting, I was talking to other people, is that both games they started goalies. The first game was redshirt freshman Abby Wilkinson, who unfortunately did lose, but still very impressive effort from her. And then the second game, they started Allie Cole, who's a junior, but this was her collegiate debut with the Bison. But I know that there are some other upperclassmen goalies, so I'm wondering if maybe they're injured or just weren't up to playing. But obviously the girls gave it their all. They have a game tonight against Western Illinois, who is 0-2. Both of those losses were to the defending champion Denver. So how do you think that game will go? I know that the Western Illinois goalie is 3rd in the nation with 9 saves per match.
Okay, I didn't know that, which is very alarming because that means she's
impressive.
like that. Yeah, that's impressive. But it's still early in the season. I believe any team could take it. Western Illinois is still 0-2 in the conference, so I think we just take it.
Hopefully the Bison, we wish them the best of luck. When we come back, we will be talking about women's and men's basketball coming up this weekend.
Founded in 1985, the Missouri Valley Football Conference has established a tradition of FCS football excellence. Competing at the highest level of NCAA Division I, student athletes at its 10 institutions demonstrate character, passion, and integrity as they grow as a student, an athlete, and a citizen. The Missouri Valley Football Conference, where leaders are shaped and champions are forged.
No kid deserves to go hungry, but try as they might, not every family can afford to put food on the table every day. That's why the Great Plains Food Bank and their partner agencies work every day to bring food to our hungry neighbors. Every dollar donated can provide 4 meals for those in need. Go to greatplainsfoodbank.org and donate today so no kid in North Dakota ever has to go hungry.
Welcome back. Now we're going to dive into men's and women's basketball. Alex, what have you heard about the team?
So both of these teams are coming off of a bye week. Let's start focusing on the men's team. They are playing SDSU tonight and tomorrow. Tip-off is at 7:30 p.m. Overall in this series, the Bison lead 118-108. This is obviously a very competitive series. I think we've talked about the NDSU-SDSU rivalry across all of the sports. So the team is currently averaging a 9.2 rebounding margin in league play, which is the best in the Summit League. This is obviously a pretty big game, as SDSU historically is a solid basketball program in men's and women's. And they play this weekend against SDSU, next weekend against USD, and then the tournament starts. So it's like this little last 2-game gauntlet stretch.
Yeah, I know. I know they're going to be exhausted because you're going to give it all you got, especially with those two top teams. You can't play mediocre. You can't come out slow. You got to be 100% every quarter, every minute, every second.
Who are some players that you think we should watch out for this weekend?
I think Rocky really needs to do what he has been doing early on in the season, really picking it up and dunking on people and all that, getting the team hype.
And
He's still leading. Huh?
He has a lot of momentum coming off that 1,000-game career points and the 500 career rebounds. So, he kind of got his top dog status approved, and now, leading that in.
Now he's got to carry it on. You can't just get that and now be a bust. You got to keep, you got to keep improving. But he's still leading the teams in average points with 14 and rebounds with 7. We still got top scorers like Tyree Edey, Sam Griesel, Jarius Cook, who has a mean 3, and he can drive. Malik Harden-Hayes, he's good with rebounds too.
Right,
so
and this will be a second game back, I think, after his injury?
Second game back. So I think he should be still fresh, really pulling his weight. We just need more points out of him, though. That's the only thing.
He did lead the team in scoring last week against ORU, but I think, that game, they didn't even pass 50 points, so obviously a pretty low scoring game there.
Yeah, we just need more points out of him. He can get us rebounds, we see. And then we still got freshmen like Desmond McKinney and Grant Nelson really carrying their weight. They're really carrying their weight, and I'm really proud of them. Grant Nelson seems like we were talking about how he's taking the wing of Rocky.
Right.
Yeah, he's really picking up his skills and learning how to maneuver it to his game. He's driving on people. He's learning how to post up and more skills. You can see it. So those are the top players right now.
I think kind of how we were saying about the track and field, obviously we have the strength of seniors like Rocky as they're about to leave, go on with their life, and now we have the freshmen like Grant and Desmond kind of coming up into this Bison program. I think it's a great mix of the experience and the excitement of the newcomers mixing together that will hopefully, create a good atmosphere for Bison basketball for years to come.
Right, and I'm glad that they had a game last week like they did because all of them got the experience of what it feels like to have a close game.
Right.
Every single one.
Nail biter of a game.
Every single, even the freshmen. So now when they go to these tough games, it's probably going to be the same thing. They're going to expect it, so they know what to do and they'll be prepped for it.
So the women's team is also coming off of bye week, playing, depending on who you ask, the 23rd or the 25th ranked SDSU women's team. They play tonight and tomorrow at home at 5 p.m. SDSU leads this series 55-39 and has won the last 13 games against the Bison. However, the team's now at home. They're coming off of that big ORU win. It was a 21-point win, and that was the largest victory that the team has had this season. However, NDSU is 0-12 against ranked opponents. How do you think, a mix of the excitement from last week coming up with just, before you even get into the game, the hurdles that SDSU presents, how do you think the team's going to do with that?
I think we shouldn't look at that stuff. I think we should just ignore that because it's this year. It's a new year, fresh start. I think we should just ignore that and keep coming out fast. You see when they come out fast, they win.
That's what, It's a slow start, it's a slow finish.
Right. So if they come out fast, they'll win. And they still have players like Heaven Hamling that still hasn't really fell off. She's still keeping her weight, averaging 12 points, the highest on the team. Emily, I think it's Dietz.
Yes.
Yep. Averaging 10. She's
and
good down low.
She just surpassed 800 career points.
Right. She's been having high score games. So if they keep doing that, Rye Cobbins, which is the leader on the team, she's still pulling her weight. So if we keep coming out fast, we should do good.
I know that the team has talked a lot about the chemistry, which is so important. The coaches spoke to the media last week, and he did, mention the hole that Marie Olson has left. She got injured, I think, first or second game back in January, and he was really excited to see her. I think she's 6'2", compared to some other SDSU tall defenders, to see how that matched up. So I know that, she's obviously disappointed, and the coaches are as well. If the team does end up losing this, would it be from the defensive side or the offensive side too?
Probably, if they lose this, probably from the defensive side because offense was solid. Offense was solid because they still. And if we're gonna ignore the Hamlings, the Diets, the Cobbins, we still have other players like Michelle. She's could get us a quick 3 at any point. She's like a microwave. She can heat really quick. And then we have clutch players like Rania Hopkins. So if we do get into those close games, she can help us out very much because that's what she's done with UND. That's
exactly.
a big game that she really showed out. So we should be pretty good.
Hopefully the Bison in both men's and women's can take control and get some wins at home this weekend. When we come back, we have some updates about Bison softball and baseball. Stay with us.
There are so many great things to experience at NDSU. It's hard to pick one, but my favorite is
the people. They make it such a warm place. The Bison aren't just across the country, they're across the globe.
It's the perfect distance from home. The faculty are our biggest cheerleaders. Hands-on research experience. The affordable tuition.
All the opportunities to stay active on campus.
Real-world learning experiences.
Once I got on campus, it felt like home.
The NDSU bookstore has everything you need to show off your Bison pride. The bookstore can have you sporting green and gold wherever you go. It offers many different brands, sizes, styles, and selection so that you find exactly what you're looking for. Shop the NDSU bookstore and show your spirit today.
No kid deserves to go hungry. But try as they might, not every family can afford to put food on the table every day. That's why the Great Plains Food Bank and their partner agencies work every day to bring food to our hungry neighbors. Every dollar donated can provide 4 meals for those in need. Go to greatplainsfoodbank.org and donate today so no kid in North Dakota ever has to go hungry.
there are so many great things to experience at NDSU. It's hard to pick one, but my favorite is
the people. They make it such a warm place. The Bison aren't just across the country, they're across the globe.
It's the perfect distance from home. The faculty are our biggest cheerleaders. Hands-on research experience. The affordable tuition.
All the opportunities to stay active on campus.
Real-world learning experiences.
Once I got on campus, it felt like home.
Welcome back to Bison Overtime. We do have a couple quick updates on the softball and baseball teams. Starting off with baseball, they were picked third in the Summit League preseason poll, so another team that's getting pretty high preseason rankings. Omaha was first in the league, followed by ORU and then NDSU. Their season opener was postponed. I think, you know, if you're following other sports besides NDSU, Oklahoma, Texas, Tennessee, and now Kentucky, all of these states are having major winter storm systems. So they were supposed to play at Western Kentucky, but due to the inclement weather, those games have been postponed. However, both NDSU and Western Kentucky is trying to make that work later in this season.
Yeah, so last season the team went 8-9, which is not good. But I feel like it can be.
Their season was cut short, though, correct?
Yeah. So, well, it could fuel them to want to work harder and get a better overall score. But they still have players like shortstop Bennett and a senior pitcher Parker Harm. Hopefully, I'm saying your name right. So those are the players to watch. How do you feel they will do since their season is canceled?
You know, I think that those two seniors that you've mentioned. I think they played almost all of those games last season, been with the team for 3 or 4 years. So obviously some senior leadership. And these seniors, obviously having the season postponed or canceled early last year, and now this being postponed, they're just like, come on, I want to play baseball, I want to win. And I think that will truly help their dedication and especially kind of give confidence to the freshmen too, to just get out there and play for fun because that's what they love to do.
And I know it hurt their feelings that they couldn't leave the state to go play ball. Just imagine they tell you, okay, you're gonna go to Florida and all those hot, nice places, and you don't go anymore. You're stuck in NDSU cold weather.
On the softball update, we said last week how the team was ranked first in the preseason poll, historically solid program. They were supposed to play 5 games at the McNeese State Cowgirl Classic in Louisiana. Due to the inclement weather in Texas that I just mentioned, the DFW airport was shut down. So the team was supposed to fly from Fargo to DFW and then over to Louisiana, and the team could not get another flight to make the tournament. How gut-wrenching is that? That it's not even because the tournament was canceled, but because your flight was canceled.
That was very unfortunate. I know all of them was now, we just got our season, and now this, I know they feel like it's a bunch of obstacles they have to go through. But I hope this brings the team together to work even harder and be more hungry to get the win.
They were supposed to be playing Memphis, McNeese State, Louisiana Tech, and Boise State there. So obviously it was a big tournament.
Yeah.
Do you know what their next game should be if it goes as planned?
Yeah, their next game is a doubleheader on Thursday against Arkansas.
So obviously
they
kind of fitting,
Yeah.
that both softball and baseball
Yep.
got postponed one more week, but hopefully the Bison can, finally get that started.
Hopefully.
When we come back, Bison football is finally here, and we have a preview for this weekend's game for you.
The Technology Learning and Media Center, located in the Quinton Burdick Building, room 150C, provides a variety of services to assist you with all of your technology-related coursework and personal learning goals. The TLMC offers one-on-one tutoring and assistance in topics ranging from basic computer skills to advanced topics such as design, Adobe products, and multimedia software. A resource library that includes books on the latest software releases, online resources including a lynda.com kiosk that provide free access to high-quality video tutorials on hundreds of topics. Free workshops on a variety of topics taught each semester by our student staff. Software and hardware for audio and video capture, conversion, and editing, plus personal assistance on your multimedia projects. Multiple scanners are available at the TLMC, including one large format scanner and a slide and film scanner. The Wacom tablet provides ultimate control in your favorite graphics and illustration software and can help you to create stunning digital artwork. Large format poster printing is also done at the TLMC. Our walk-in media resources include the Whisper Room sound booth for recording professional quality voiceovers and audio. The TLMC Media Studio is available by reservation and provides equipment and space for video recording, audio recording, studio photography, screen capture, and a green screen for special effects. If you have any questions on these services, be sure to visit the TLMC website, and while you're there you can check out a variety of learning and media resources, or just stop by the next time you're in the Quinton Burdick building and check out what we have to offer.
Welcome back. Like Alex said, we're going to dive into football. What have you heard? What is your update?
All right, so the season will kick off at 2:30 p.m. Sunday at the Fargo Dome against Youngstown State. I think it was a couple weeks ago that we mentioned, seating will be at 50% capacity. I think students were allowed to get those last Wednesday. I think that's the plan for any home games, is it's like Wednesday at 11 a.m.
Yep.
to grab tickets. So if you're an NDSU student, be sure to do that. NDSU leads the series against Youngstown State 10-4 and has won the last 8 games against them. Last year, the Bison had a dominant win, 56-17 at Youngstown, gave them their worst home loss in program history. So,
Hey, I hope they do it again. That's NDSU football. I don't know what they expect. We're going to come out strong, and I want to see what the hype is about. I really want to see. I want to see what Zeb Nolan does his first game.
what have you heard about, in the quarterback situation?
Okay, so the coach, Mike Enns, said we should expect to see 2 quarterbacks.
Right.
So we already know one of them is going to be Zeb Nolan.
Of course.
But they got a new transfer
student from Iowa State, right? That's where
Right.
Zeb's from? Okay.
Right. No. Yeah, Iowa State. And then we have a new quarterback that just transferred, but he can't play.
Quincy Patterson.
Quincy
Who's
Patterson.
a friend of Zeb's.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the other 2, I feel like.
Just looking at the roster, the
Yeah.
coaches have not said anything, which is
Right.
why it's kind of like.
Like a mystery to see who he's going to play. But got any score predictions?
I'm thinking it'll be 31-10 NDSU. We're not really losing many players on defense.
Yeah.
They're really excited for that. I think it'll be another high-scoring game. Not as high scoring as last year, just because the offense is missing Trey Lance. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but it's just you never know how the team's going to work the first game.
Yep.
What about you?
I think it's going to be like 27-10, as you say. I think they. Trey Lance really got, you can see he got them riled up and want to make plays. I feel like Zeb Nolan has to create more chemistry for it to be a high-scoring game like Trey Lance used to have.
What I'm kind of thinking is, trying to get into that side of the mind of Coach Enns. He knows that Youngstown State isn't historically that solid of a program. So he knows what he has in Zeb. And he's like, this is a good game to get these freshmen. Logan Gretz is a redshirt freshman, and Cam Miller's a freshman. Are the only other 2 eligible quarterbacks. So this could be a game where, let Zeb play, get the score up first half, come out, see another freshman quarterback just to get them experience.
I agree with you. a very good trial game to just see what guys can do. You know, especially the freshmen of other positions like Raja as a receiver. He got a couple plays back in the game back in October.
I think that was against Central Arkansas.
Central Arkansas. Yeah, just filling out who can really play like in their positions. But they still have returning guys like Christian Watson that got 34 receptions and 732 yards last season, which is really good. Phoenix Pro is still coming out. I don't know if he's still hurt. I think they're still going to play him because I don't think he would take that well if they weren't going to play him.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And then, but they're losing Adam Cofield at the running back position, so that's going to be a mystery too. We're going to see who's going to play.
It.
Yeah, who's going to.
There's obviously a lot of unknowns. Something that I do know is that the offensive line is solid. They didn't really lose any players, and Cordell Volson spoke to the media a couple weeks ago, and he said, you know, if the left tackle gets hurt, the right tackle can fill in. They can always switch it around. It's like a musical chairs game, and you know, like I said, I know a lot of the FBS teams struggled in that position. All these the bigger players were getting hurt because of the long off season, and I think that's definitely an asset. Is not only that they can fill in the holes, but also the depth of that offensive line.
Right. In a press conference when I attended, one of the old linemen said, yeah, they're not even like he hasn't been playing center all his life, and he said they just got into the groove. You know, they pick up stuff really quick though. Like their old line is probably their strongest core on the team.
Who do you think we should be watching out for that's not in the quarterback position?
Definitely Christian Watson. Running back Kobe Johnson, I want to see who he's going to do because he was on Sports Illustrated.
Right.
So now the hype is behind him. Now I want to see what he's going to do about that. Phoenix Pros, if they let him play. And got to go with Zeb Nolan. I want to see what he can do.
I think there's, I don't want to say a lot of pressure. I think this is a good game for the Bison to start their season off with. You know, it's not SDSU or another big powerhouse in the league. You know, will the pressure get to them? They're like, oh my gosh, we had a great season last season. We're missing our star quarterback. We haven't played. Why are we playing in February? Or will they just block all that out, pretend it's a sunny day in September, and it's just normal football?
I think they're going to block it out. I feel like they want a game so bad that they don't care when it is. It could be 2 o'clock in the morning, and I think they'll still play. I generally think they'll like that. They just want a game. But yeah, and defensive players too. We got Josh Hayes. I want to see what he can do at the corner, the secondary. There's just a Tootsie. I want to see what he can do.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, I want to see all the All-Americans that's on the team to see what all those guys can do.
Looking forward past this game, they're supposed to play 8 straight conference games. So I think 9 games total, and then they'll have a bye week as the 10th week, and so that's allowed if like a COVID week happens, so that they need to move a game around to that 10th week. And then it goes into the FCS tournament starting on April 24th. There's no room for error here. You know, if you have 2 games get canceled, you're sitting in an Ohio State position where you're only playing, you know, 6 games before going into the tournament.
Yeah.
How do you think that ultimately the Missouri Valley Football Conference will play out this week?
I don't think they're going to cancel any games. I feel like they've been waiting way too long for that to happen. I think it should
You think the teams are going to have gotten COVID under control then?
Yeah, I think they have. If they haven't, I think it's selfish.
I think also, you know, seeing how the FBS did it in the fall and learning will help them ultimately.
Right. So I think, because coaches won a game too, so I don't know why you wouldn't be so strict. And I know NDSU has been strict because I got football buddies that can't go out or nothing. They're not risking it at all. So, and they're holding themselves accountable too. Their teammates are. So I know we're responsible, and I think it's very selfish as other teams not, because not only does it affect you, it affects other teams that they can't play. So yeah.
I know it's 10 weeks out, but season prediction. You know, how do you think these 9 games are going to go?
I think we're going to lose at least 2.
That's what I was thinking too. You know, you can't repeat that perfect season. Yeah. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with 2 losses. If this was a normal season, you'd be 14-2. You'd be set. Do you think we will go far in the tournament play again?
Yes, I think we'll still go far, but I think we'll just be shaken up a little bit, a couple games.
I would not be surprised if, you know, around like maybe week 3 and week 5, take a couple losses there, get the momentum back. You know, I am praying that they get that bye week, because if they, you know, have to play 10 weeks straight of football and then going into the conference play after not playing for the full year, that's just a strain on the bodies.
Yeah, that definitely will be a strain on the bodies. But again, they're hungry.
Exactly.
So I don't think they care.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Bison Overtime. Like we said, football starts this Sunday at 2:30, and obviously lots of other Bison sports this weekend. I'm Alex Dusky.
I'm Malik Mitchell.
Be sure to tune in next Friday at 12:30 to catch us again. Have a great weekend.